Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Talented Learning Executive Briefing Series. For all of you that follow this series, you know that it's my favorite series of content because we get to travel the world virtually and meet with the best learning technology companies and learn what they're all about, what they do well, who their customers are, what their differentiators are. And today's no different. We're going to learn about Docebo, which is the fastest growing learning management system in the world and has been for years. And the reason why is we're going to learn all about it from Samantha Murray. Sam, it's all yours. Take it away.
Amazing. Thanks so much for having me, John. I'm really excited to be giving this overview. Maybe a quick introduction as I share my screen here. As John said, I'm Samantha Murray. I am Global Director of Go-to-Market at Docebo, so currently leading product marketing and a few other marketing functions. I've been in the industry a little while. I was previously leading customer education at Shopify. And so customer education is my huge passion. I love the space. I love working in the industry. And so excited to give you an overview of how we see customer education at Docebo and a little bit more about what we do.
All right. Sounds great.
Right. So I'll dive right in. So kicking off with a couple of interesting stats here that we've discovered. So according to a LinkedIn Workplace Learning report, 94% of employees have stated that they would stay with their organization if they were offered more learning opportunities. So if you think about this from the flip side of that, they will leave. Those employees will leave if they're not provided with learning opportunities. So if we think of this as a handful of employees, it's not so bad, right? But that number is 37%. It's a huge amount of people. So more than a third of employees would leave right now if your company is not offering better and improved learning. And it also matters for attracting talent. We know this. 3/4 wouldn't choose an organization that doesn't offer learning opportunities in the first place. And those are exactly the kind of people that you want, right? The ones that are eager to learn, that are interested and want to grow in their careers and drive innovation. They're going to your competitors unless you're offering those programs. So learning is truly impacting your talent strategy and ability to innovate. And then on the customer side, the average customer education program we know drives about a 6.2% increase in an organization's bottom line and more than a 7% increase in customer retention. That's huge. And that's only after an average of 1 year of a program running. The elephant in the room here with this is what happens when you don't offer these customer education programs. Customers who have a poor experience, we know, will leave without actually saying anything or giving you any information. And it's easier than ever to find alternatives because, as you know, John, and you've talked about this in your podcast and your blog, there are thousands of LMS vendors out there for folks to choose from. So what does this mean? From talent to customers, today learning is everything. It's the foundation for success across employees, customers, partners, and even members. For employees, it's fueling personal and professional growth and business development. For customers, it's maximizing product and service value. With partners, it can foster collaboration and innovation. In all of these cases, learning is not just a choice, but it is a strategic differentiator for your business. Those who have recognized the potential benefits and have invested are seeing returns in spades, whether they're relatively new, like Zoom, who we have as a customer and who have trained over 1 million customers in the first year that they launched the Zoom Learning Center.
Is that all? Just 1 million.
Just 1 million.
Just 1 million.
No big
One
deal.
year. 1 year.
Here,
No big deal.
right? And of course, at the height of the pandemic, when everyone was switching to Zoom, but that's a huge milestone. And then with AWS, they've been around for a while, right? And they're still trying to expand on that mission of growing their education programs. Amazon Web Services, for example, here have expanded their mission to educate over 29 million people by 2025. And they're doing this by leveling up cloud skills all around the world and increasing the number of people who can use their product, as well as the amount of talent that they can hire. So think about that for a second, right? One of the most successful companies in the world is saying that learning is so powerful and so important to them that they're not just training their customers, partners, and employees. They know that they're going to benefit by training the world. That's how powerful learning is. So like these organizations, we recognize that learning is everything, and it's the foundation for success for your business. But what's the common thread here? This understanding of learning being everything and being the foundation for business is somewhat new, I think, to most organizations. The audience for learning used to be just employees, right, John? We've talked about this before. Really heavy focus on talent development and on the employee use case. But now we're starting to see all of these additional use cases for learning pop up across member training, customer education, frontline training. Learning has evolved to so many different things. In the past as well, the only business stakeholders that truly were invested in learning were the learning administrators or the people on the learning and development team, right? But now, learning and learning technology is something the C-suite is talking about, that they really truly care about. It's something that's being invested in heavily because we know that it impacts every part of the business, and that without learning, you cannot grow your business. It is the foundation for everything. So the learning landscape has really evolved in the last few years, and the technology is evolving with it, right? Originally, learning systems were built for administrators. So that's level one that you're seeing here on the screen, mainly used for technical tasks like content management, and the learner experience was honestly an afterthought at that time. But as technology has become more user-friendly, platforms become much more learner-centric. And so they were built to optimize metrics like learner engagement, time spent learning in the platform, and course completions. This is kind of what we see as level two, and I think it's where most learning platforms are today. What we're now doing is adding an additional layer, because we know that organizations are fighting to acquire skills, to boost productivity, to innovate faster, drive revenue, and grow and grow and grow. And so we've built our platform at Docebo to really meet these tangible business needs while still being powerful for administrators and engaging and intuitive for learners. So we're sort of like meeting all three of these layers. And that's really what we mean when we say that we're built for the business of learning. All right, so what is the business of learning? What does that mean to us and the industry? It means that learning impacts the business in a measurable and tangible way. We know this, and we know that this is what learning can bring, right? It's why the C-suite is suddenly taking notice and talking about it and investing in learning, because it's the foundation for scale for your organization. And here at Docebo, we ensure that no matter what the business objective is for your learning program, you're not only going to be able to impact and reach those objectives, but you'll also be able to effectively measure the impact that learning has had on those objectives. So as an example, what you're seeing on screen here, those of you in customer ed are going to be familiar with these items. We want to be driving customer retention with our programs, right? Renewals, increasing spend and account expansion. We want to increase training revenue if you're doing monetized programs. There are a million other things here that we can layer on in terms of business objectives that we know that customer education can drive: support ticket decrease, churn, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The data we have that we've acquired over the years through our customers proves that we can achieve these sorts of outcomes with our programs. And this is what learning looks like when your learning platform is optimized for business. You're able to actually see tangible, measurable, and effective results from your programs. But we don't just cover customer education. I think there's a sort of common misconception that actually in the last couple of years, it sort of has evolved, at least from what I've observed. But there used to be this observation that we were, generalists because we cover a lot of different use cases. We've definitely seen an increase in our external education use cases. A lot of customers use us for customer education and other external training, such as partner enablement, member training, et cetera. But our platform is robust enough that we can cover pretty much any use case from the same platform, from a single source of truth. Obviously, that makes it a lot easier for program administrators to administer different programs to different audiences when they're able to log in and manage everything from a single source. All right, so a little bit about Docebo. Now that we've sort of set the stage, we see ourselves as enablers and learning partners for the customers that we work with, right? We're not just a platform. We're not just an LMS vendor. We really want to be seen as partners for the organizations that we serve. We have teams and customers all around the world that support our customers wherever they need learning to be. You can see here, global footprint. We've got lots of customers all over the world. And we really think that we are the world's most powerful learning platform, full stop, right? And the results here that you're seeing on screen speak for themselves. We invest a ton of our revenue, over 25% of our revenue, in R&D. Innovation is at the forefront of absolutely everything we do. And we really, really recognize that innovation requires investment, not only in the right people, the right technology, but partnerships and customers. And so there's a lot of investment going into R&D. We have over 800 employees worldwide, giving us the flexibility to be there where our customers need us, and giving our teams also a diverse experience because they're globally distributed, in terms of like understanding local nuances and context that helps us really serve our global customers. We launch over 400 customers per year. That's a lot of growth that we've seen over the last few years. Our NPS score is amazing. Our teams are constantly striving to make sure that you have everything you need to be successful. So lots of incredible stuff going on here at Docebo. And what you're seeing here in terms of like that circle in the center that I just want to speak to quickly is that we ourselves as an organization, we've evolved from being, again, going back to that pyramid that I was just showing. We're not just an LMS anymore. We're not just built for admins and that learner experience. The only way that we could reach our goal of being built for business and being able to measure effectively the impact of learning on the business is for us to move into the space where we are a full service platform. So when we talk about Docebo today, we're not really just an LMS anymore. It's really all about that full service platform that allows our customers to manage the entire learning lifecycle from start to finish. And the way that we do that is with, of course, the LMS at the core, a whole bunch of additional add-on modules that allow for those capabilities. And then, of course, our support team, our services, our partners to round out the offering and ensure that we are providing the most exceptional experience to our customers. We work with some of the best brands in the world, right? So the customers who are achieving the most with their learning programs think about learning the same way we do. We have the same mindset that learning is critical for growth. Agility and flexibility really matter. The platform that you use today is going to determine what's possible tomorrow with your learning programs. And so it's really important to have that foundation and work with an organization that's going to be able to scale with you for the long term, no matter what your goals are around learning and no matter what your business objectives are. All right, so I'm going to give a high-level overview of our products, starting with basically an overview, as I was just saying, of the entire Docebo platform. So we know from experience, and John, I'm sure you can attest to this, managing corporate learning programs is incredibly complex. You have to create content and make sure that that content is pedagogically sound so that learners are actually learning. And then you need to help them apply what they're learning to their jobs so that they can develop skills, right? You need to deliver training in all of the places that they're already spending their time, right content, right place, right time, in all of the ways that they want to be learning. So in different modalities, you need to have strong feedback loops with your learners so that you can continuously improve your programs. You need to measure the impact of learning, not only on the performance of that person, the learner, but also against those business objectives that we spoke about, right? Like employee retention or customer retention or churn, etc. It's really, really complex, but that's what true learning leaders are doing in the industry. And the good news is that we've got the platform to help you achieve all of these outcomes from one source of administration. So at the core of our platform sits the Learn LMS, right? An AI-powered and AI-driven LMS for managing, delivering, and tracking training from a robust platform that integrates with all of your different systems seamlessly to essentially create an engaging experience for the learners. And then what you're seeing just below the Learn LMS as the foundation is all of the other steps that are required to manage the learning lifecycle. So we've got Shape, which is our AI content creation tool, the ability to generate content in multiple languages and formats in minutes using AI. We've got Content, Docebo Content Marketplace, which gives you access to over 20,000 off-the-shelf courses and certifications from the world's top publishers, available in multiple languages to satisfy all of the possible content needs that you would have so that you can upskill your people. The next one is Docebo Learning Impact. So to measure sentiment and changes in behavior and ultimately the impact that learning is having on individual employee performance, we have this tool that allows you to run surveys so that you can continuously be optimizing your programs. And then most importantly, related to the business of learning, when it comes to driving business results, we give you data in multiple different ways, and we bring you the full power of a BI reporting tool directly in the platform, while also at the same time integrating with your organization's existing BI tools so that you can easily analyze the impact that learning is having on those critical business objectives that you want to be measuring against. In addition to this, I sort of already mentioned this, so I'm not going to go into a ton of detail, but we have, of course, additional services that we offer as an organization. So everything from managed services, implementation, consulting, strategic ongoing services, 24/7 support, and a partner network that you can access to sort of layer on. So if there's a need to, develop some sort of like custom front-end experience, we've got a really great partner network that you can tap into as well for additional items. Okay, so I'm going to give a little bit more info on each of the products that make up our platform, really high level. So within the Learn LMS, there's a couple of different components that make up the Learn LMS, or I guess add-ons that you can layer on to complement what exists as the base layer. So Discover, Coach, and Share is one of our tools that allows for content curation. You can leverage subject matter experts within your organization and really focus on knowledge sharing together as an organization, and bring in that collaborative and social learning experience to the Learn LMS. With Extended Enterprise, you have a single learning solution. I know, John, you talk about this a lot on your podcast and your blog, right? Extended Enterprise. For us, we see that as you've got the central organization, and then you might have, subsidiaries, parent organizations, et cetera. If you are a globally distributed large organization, this is pretty common. And so you can leverage Extended Enterprise to create custom branded front-end experiences while still managing the learning programs from the same place in the back end. So this means that you can have, custom customer education programs for all of your different customer segments with branded experiences on custom domains. You can have your partner programs sitting on a separate domain, employee programs, et cetera, but all feeding from the same central content repository, which makes it really easy to push content out and to manage those programs from that single source. We've also got a branded mobile app, so you can keep your customers, partners, employees aligned to your brand and your learning activities beyond the desktop. This is especially important in the frontline training space where we know those employees are, spending the bulk of their time on their phones. And so we wanted to make sure that our learning programs were available for them as well. Salesforce is another thing that you can add on. So embedding the learning experience directly where your sellers are already spending more time, especially in the sales enablement use case. This way you close more deals, you develop those stronger customer relationships, and you're really linking learning to revenue performance with a native LMS integration that exists directly into Salesforce. The last one that I'll mention here is Microsoft Teams. So this was actually released around Inspire in September of this year. And it's really an embedded experience. So we're breaking down those learning barriers and trying to boost training adoption by bringing learning to where people are already spending the time. So if you are an organization that is using Microsoft Teams and people are already collaborating in Microsoft Teams, you can actually bring your learning programs directly into the flow of work in MS Teams. Lots of cool stuff there. Nope, that was the slide I was supposed to be talking through, but all good.
Good. We're already there.
We're already there. We did it. Okay, so high-level overview for Shape. So as I mentioned, this is an AI-powered content creation tool. We're trying to make content creation really, really simple. As you know, John, with organizations that have large audiences, it can be pretty taxing and challenging to keep up with the content demands, especially when you have multiple different segments that you're serving. And so we wanted to create a solution that would allow people to create easy to digest content in a really short amount of time using baseline resources that they already have within their organization. So the way that this works is you can feed resources into Shape and essentially train the AI LLM to create then pedagogically sound content in a matter of minutes. The goal of this is to keep it short and sweet, make sure that it's to the point. It also has built-in quizzes and assessments that adapt to the learner as they're going through that learning experience, all powered by AI. Translation in minutes in multiple different languages. You can output it in different formats as well, and really seamlessly integrated into the Learn LMS so that you can just push that content straight into where your learners are learning. Really, really awesome for scaling. Again, like if you have really complex content needs because you have a large audience or multiple audiences that you're serving. And we all know how hard it is to get additional headcount and resources these days. And so it's been a really big game changer for a lot of organizations that we work with. On the content side, so we have a content marketplace. We have a ton of different vendors that we work with that are offering up content in this marketplace. And it really, I feel like with a lot of the marketplaces that exist on the market, there's a big focus on compliance training. So we really wanted to move beyond that compliance sort of table stakes content. And so Docebo content provides a variety of content that drives learner engagement, that cultivates a learning culture within the organization. And it really stretches so far beyond the typical compliance training. So there's, globally recognized certifications in there from the likes of PMP, ITIL, Microsoft, Six Sigma, and many, many, many more. There's also built-in AI and machine learning curated lists. And so it's actually really easy for the content administrators to create programs and pull from the marketplace using machine learning driven curated lists. Makes it really easy to stand up programs. And of course, a really seamless integration with the Learn LMS so that you can just push that content straight into where your learners are learning, as well as then leverage all of the existing other tools that we have, like Learning Impact and Learn Data, to be able to measure the impact of that content on both performance of the employee or learner, I should say, as well as business outcomes.
All right.
So Docebo Learning Impact, I sort of already touched on this one at a high level, but it's a survey and evaluation tool really meant at reducing administrative time in like sourcing the information from the learners to find out the impact that the content had on them and their performance in their role. So it allows you to measure things like, learner engagement, how they felt, the sentiment around the content that they learned, and really start to connect whatever they learned and that content to their actual performance in their roles. Really easy to set up and use, and lots of improvements coming down with this product line that I'm very excited about in 2024. Of course, I can't speak about them, but not
It's
yet.
just us and a few thousand of our friends.
Little teaser, but lots of exciting stuff coming out on this one. All right, and then Learn Data. So what Learn Data does is it connects into your existing BI tool. It takes your all of your learning data from the Learn LMS, cleans it up, organizes it, and then pushes it in a ready-to-analyze format into your BI tool of choice, whatever you're already using inside your organization, so that then you can slice and dice it in the ways that are most meaningful for you. What we observed when we first launched this, actually as a product that was a standalone within the Learn LMS, most large organizations, as you know, are already using their own BI tool. BI being something that extends far beyond just the learning and development teams internally, or customer ed, partner enablement, what have you. And so we wanted to still provide all of that like cleaned up and organized data, but pushing it in a way that is going to make it easier to access for the folks that are already doing that work. The data science team, I know that's hard to come by in our world in learning and development, but if you do have a data person on the team, then everything's already being pushed and cleaned into the BI tool of choice. And really, what this allows us to do is to combine that learning data with the business metrics that matter in one single place so that you can broaden your analysis perspective, leverage the insights, and then make much more informed strategic decisions around how you're going to grow your programs, knowing that it's going to impact specific business objectives. And last but not least, Flow, which is essentially a tool that allows organizations to surface contextual learning directly in the flow of work within an existing third-party tool of choice. So as an example, if you are a B2B SaaS company, you've got a platform, what you can do is leverage Flow to embed what exists in the LMS in the central repository, embed that learning experience contextually directly in that platform, in the third-party platform, so that you can reduce context switching, increase productivity because they're learning exactly in the flow of work, that it's been known to increase engagement with the content. And it also gives you a lot more oversight and ownership over the learner activities that are happening. And so this is a really interesting one. Again, 2024, big year for us for this one in particular, and embedded learning experiences overall. We're really starting to see a lot of benefit with the way in which our organizations, our customers are using embedded learning experiences. We want to try to remove the barriers to learning as much as possible and allow our customers to really focus on getting learning where employees, customers, and partners are already spending the bulk of their time. So then in terms of being able to connect into your existing tech stack, we've got a tool called Connect, which is a tool that allows you to easily connect the Docebo Learn LMS into pretty much any other tool in existence within your existing tech stack. So really easy to set up and implement. And then you can customize any workflows, what we call recipes in Connect, to fit your specific business needs. So for example, if you wanted to integrate your HRIS tool with your LMS, then you would use Connect to connect the two, set up some sample or customized workflows or recipes that, pull new employee information post onboarding or during the onboarding phase of employee, takes that information, pushes it into the Learn LMS, and then you can create custom groups, branches, customized learning pathways to meet those employee needs based on their role, based on their location, a whole number of other data points. You can fully customize those. And that applies across, not just HRIS, but your CRM, if you're using Pendo in addition to a customer education learning platform and you want to connect those two experiences, so many different things that you can do with Connect to more seamlessly integrate your learning programs into the rest of your existing, not just tech stack, but like business systems and internal processes and workflows to make it really, really simple for the program administrators and also the employees, the customers, the partners who are engaging with those learning experiences. That's it.
That's it. That's all you're doing.
That's all we do. That's
all
it.
you do. Cool. Well, thanks
Maybe
very much for taking us through that. It's very,
pleasure.
uh, just enlightening—is not the right word. It's just astounding because I first ran into your organization maybe 11 years ago, and so I remember when it was just this thin little LMS, and so just to see how you've taken it through from the different phases to, from an administrative LMS to focusing on the experience to focusing on the business impact is great. For everybody that follows along in this series, I never stop talking about ROI measurement, business impact, using learning as a differentiator in all aspects and how all the best learning organizations are doing that. So everything that you're talking about, everything you're building in to enable that process from content creation, multiple audience support simultaneously, plus my favorite piece of the whole thing is the connect on the very end of being able to drive that workflow into any other part of your ecosystem, uh, either just by connecting the data in the workflow or using flow as a way to pull that in just in the moment type training. All of that is what we couldn't even have envisioned 10 years ago. And it's exciting to see that not only is it here, it's productized, and you're growing all aspects of those products or that product in a solution. And the other part I really like in terms of everything is moving from a product to a solution, not just in terms of the scope of the product suite, but in terms of the managed services, implementation, strategic services, partner, content development, integration, all those other pieces that data analytics that organizations may struggle with some or all of those resources at any given time. So to be able to just kind of morph around and provide a solution that big organizations need. And I think that's maybe the last takeaway from here is 11 years ago, you guys were 10 years ago offering, free trials, really going after, the small and medium business. And now to see that you've moved up to 180 degrees to the complete other side of being able to support 27 million learners, a million learners in 1 year, and some of the world's biggest global organization provides a nice option for a lot of those organizations that maybe on one of the historical systems that's more in that stage 1 or 2 that you were talking about and haven't really graduated. So provides another option to the marketplace at that highest level, which I think is needed. So there's my quick takeaway of your quick takeaway of your organization. Thanks very much, Sam.
Appreciate it.
It was great to have you on the executive briefing series today. Learners and listeners, you see why it's my favorite series of content, because you can't learn this stuff anywhere else. And you can learn it here. So, Sam, thanks again. Listeners, thanks for tuning in. And we hope to see you on the next. Have a great day. And you can find more of our independent resources at talentedlearning.com. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another Talented Learning production. You can find more of our fiercely independent content on learning systems technology at talentedlearning.com. If you want to show your support, please like and share this video and enter a comment down below and like our YouTube channel. It'd be greatly appreciated and very helpful for us to spread the word. And if you need some independent assistance or guidance in your upcoming learning management system or learning system selection project, please navigate to talentedlearning.com, where you can request a complimentary consultation call with me, John Lay, the lead analyst and founder of Talented Learning. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you on the next.